are now live on YouTube, must respect the platform, and on X, my favorite. X marks the spot. You predicted it, Biotech Scanner. You are a psychic. You have a 1-900 number that people can call and get their fortune.
Oh,
Um, you know, my concern was the earnings would not be what people expected. Like me personally, all I wanted to see was a change somehow. Like instead of trending negative with sales, I wanted to see a positive momentum and not missing earnings. And that's exactly what we got. We didn't like crush earnings,
right.
but the margins improved a lot
Yep.
and the tone was very bullish. But the fact that the earnings did go to 68 million and we're still on track, even if it's the low end of the 250 to 300, we're still on track to hit that.
Yep.
I think it gave people enough, and I think that's why they released the non-small cell lung cancer data first, because that was, I think if they didn't release that and this earnings came out, we wouldn't have seen the pop we did. We would have seen like 5, maybe 7%, because today was a down day.
Yeah.
So people saw that
Today.
non-small cell, and then they're like, okay, no one can argue the science here, but we don't know if this is a viable business. So everyone's just waiting for a little turnaround, just a little, and that's what we got. Those shorts are getting squeezed. They got to cover. So you're a genius, man. I'm gonna celebrate with a little shot of some Serbian Slivovica. You got the Jaritos. Are you a drinker? Like, you drink any alcohol or?
I do, but I rarely drink wine or alcohol in my house. I mean, I have some at home, but
Mhm.
mostly at parties.
Well, this is a party,
My
man.
go-to is Corona.
Okay, yeah, that's a good go-to. I got the Serbian plum brandy. I just looking for any reason to take a shots, but man, you did the due diligence more than anyone else on the planet, probably on this company. Um, you made me improve my game, and I thank you for that. And you pointed this one out to me. I thank you for that. And I got a story about Iova. Um, when I was looking for, because here's the background. I don't know if people care, but I'm gonna say it real quick. I had a lot of Bitcoin, and I needed to transition. I knew it was alt season coming, right? This
Right.
is for my crypto nerds. So I was like doing deep research on AI, like, hey, which stuff should I move some Bitcoin out of? Because I felt Bitcoin was going to slow down and altcoin season was going to take off. And I said, and also include some biotechs because I like biotech. So you already told me about Iova a week before. The AI gave me, it said, don't do that many alts, do like ETH, Solana. It gave me a tie. That's how I found out about ATAI.
Uh,
And it gave me Iova.
that's
And
crazy.
I said, that is what biotech gave me Iova. And then I asked it, give me the best one. Do a deep research. What's the best one? If I were to go all in, pretend like you're a financial advisor, I'm a high risk tolerance. If I go all in on one of these, what is it? It worked for like 20 minutes researching hundreds of websites. And
Uh-huh.
then it said Iova.
Crazy.
And that's where I was like, Biotech Scanner knows his shit, man. This dude,
Dang.
he is the human AI. So I never told you that story. I
Yeah,
wanted to share
yeah.
it.
Thanks for sharing that with me. Before we get into the whole thing,
Yes.
it is amazing that one of the first thing that I noticed from the earnings report, the Q3, was that their cash is going to extend to Q2 of 2027, and it's just a day prior. What did I predict to you? Tell the audience.
A day prior to the earnings, to me personally,
Yeah, on text.
I mean, we text a lot. So you told me that they're gonna
How long would the
XC.
cast extend to?
Oh,
Remember?
you called that one. You called that one. You called
Yeah.
that one.
I
Yeah.
said that they're going to extend cash to mid 2027. That's
Yeah.
exactly.
And you told me you were expecting you wouldn't be surprised if it was like a slight earnings miss, which is exactly what happened. But you were personally expecting somewhere in the 70s or
Yeah.
hoping for somewhere in the 70s.
Yeah.
And when first thing I woke up, rubbed my eyes from sleep, made sure Mac's still sleeping, checked the report before I log into the call, 68. I was like, damn, biotech like basically called it. Pretty much exactly.
Um, the the analyst range though. Okay, so we only saw the average analyst expectation, but we did not see the range. And actually, I did not mention it, but the analyst range was 68 to 78.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
They hit it. They hit the
Yeah.
low end.
Yes. So, but also what I told you was the the most important number is not really, because I know the revenue is going to be close, because I know the community hospitals were getting online, and demand were getting better. But the thing that I was hoping the most would happen was the margins. I keep bringing that up to you.
Explain that. Explain that. Like what happened, the significance of
Yeah.
that.
So the biggest, it's one thorn that the shorts always use and twist on the side of Ivan's investor, is that they have an amazing science, so they accept the science.
Even they can't deny the science.
Yes, but they deny, and rightly so, that the company will actually be someday making money, because margin keeps dropping. So it doesn't matter how high the revenue is. If the cost of goods and services keep increasing, then you sell a car and you lose $1,000 every car you sell. And then if you sell 1,000,000 car, but you still lose $1,000 per car, then you losing a lot more money. So the more cars you sell, the more money you lose. That is not business.
But here's why me personally, I was never concerned with that because they
Mhm.
own the whole supply chain. I understand business. I'm a business owner. They own
Mhm.
the production
Well,
facility. They own IL2. So I figured at some point they're going to figure that out.
yes, and that's what I've been telling investors, that the most important thing about choosing a biotech has to be about the drug, because you cannot improve on the drug as much as you can improve on the processes of selling the drug. Okay. And that is where I spent 18 years of my career in. I know this process inside and out.
Mm, mm.
And so I see it. People don't see it. I'm trying to tell people, listen, please listen to me. I know where this is heading. I'm seeing this. But the problem is, these people, first, they're not in the industry, they don't know it, but then they get on these different platforms and they listen to the noises,
Mhm.
especially short. And the thing is, just right before Q3 earnings arrived, shorts were really active. They were extremely active. And I warned the community, listen, they are everywhere right now because they're fearful of what could happen. Okay. And some of them, I'm telling you, they follow me. And what they do is they would soft bash it. And then they would, I I own shares of this company, but I don't trust the company. Incompetent, this and that, and how do you explain that it was up 30% and then it dropped down and all this and that. So I'm thinking, if you bought shares in a company and you don't trust the company and you publicly posting these things out there, now who in their right damn mind do that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Would you want to create some positive sentiment so people would buy in the stock and maybe increasing the value of your holdings? But they're not doing that. But however, what they do is they use me. So so when every time I tweet something, there's about 3,000-4,000 people that read it. But,
You know, you have an imposter as well.
oh no. Those are bots.
Okay, because there's a
Those are,
biotech scanner. They use your logo. They just
yes,
change one letter in their name.
yes. X has to do something about that.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
already
blocked
reported
them.
it, but I got a few more.
It's like AI generated. So like they instantly, like the moment I block this one, instantly the next tweet I have, it already has another one. I don't know how they do it, but almost every tweet that I have, they have like an automatic account, an AI account that are imposter of me. So people may think that, hey, he's saying this, but then here he's,
Yeah.
freaking
One time
out.
I thought it was you, and I'm like, okay. And then I look closely. I'm like, this doesn't sound like him.
Yeah.
Let's go through some of these real quick. Larry 8746 from YouTube says, do you think they will ever have a CEO rather than an interim CEO? I know Wayne calls the shots, but it seems Wall Street would appreciate a permanent one. CEO, interim means temporary. I already know your answer, but I'll let you speak for yourself.
Thank you, Larry, for the question. First of all, I think if Iovan's announced a permanent CEO, and I'm telling you right now, that's going to be a double-edged sword. And why do I say that? The reason why I say that is because this company is controlled by Wayne Rothbaum. He owns at least 30 million shares of this company. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't build a company to run the company. He buys it to build it and then to sell it. Okay. Thus, the interim CEO, because he wants control, he handpicked Fred. Fred is also the lawyer for the company. This company is built to be sold. It's not built to be run like a normal company. Okay.
I knew that was your answer, but I'll let you.
Yeah. So now, I mean,
I like that answer though, because it is a lot of, what do people like when they invest in these things and they don't want to do their homework and they just follow what you say and what I say and what a few other, they want a quick flip, right? So that's the best sign of a quick in and out, which I'm not in. I'm willing to be in this thing long term, but quick flip is what a lot of people, majority, look for.
Okay, and Larry, let me go a little bit more in depth for you, because this is really, this company. The reason why, because if you think about this, every quarter they spend about $80 million on R&D. Okay. So last quarter is 79. This quarter is probably similar. Why the hell are they doing that? They could be like, they could have a lot of cash right now. But and then today, as a matter of fact, there's a new trial that was announced. I bet nobody paid attention to that. There was an Iova MEL 202 trial that was added, that they announced, and that's for mostly overseas. And it's unbelievable because it's for, guess what, Dan? For AMTAC given in an outpatient setting. Imagine that. Okay, now I just spoke to an
And that's
oncologist.
next gen, right? Next gen too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking here is it is it's, it has to be IOV 5001, the cytokine IL-12 tether TIL, because if you have to use Proleukin, which is now IL-2, you have to be in intensive care.
That's a
There is
wild ride. Like,
there
ask
is no way
Chris.
there could be an outpatient treatment. Okay.
By the way,
So,
ask Chris. Chris White. He says, "Don't listen to me. I'm just a data point."
yes.
And thank you for the repost, Chris. We appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thanks,
Get the
Chris.
book. Everyone, get the book.
I texted Chris earlier today. But anyways, so what Wayne Rothbaum is doing, he doesn't care about the, needing cash, unprofitable. He wants to build this beautiful house. He doesn't want to build a beat up, broken window house. He wants it to be really beautiful. So AMTAC, first indications is metastatic melanoma. Okay. He could have stopped here. I mean, it could be profitable with just this indication. They have like 22 or 23 trials ongoing because all of that. So the buyer is going to come in and seeing the pipeline. And the fact of what happened today and what happened next quarter is now Iovance is getting noticed. Because back to the first question about
Today, right? Today was important.
yes, it is important. And this is why I said, Dan, that the margins is more important than the revenue.
What was the margin last quarter? Do you remember?
30.
30. Okay. So
Yeah.
significant.
And this time it's
Significant.
43. I mean, imagine that 13% improvement in margins.
And
Okay.
that's attributed, you think, to the CFO, right? Directly?
Yes. And
Yeah.
this is why I bragged about her the moment she got on board.
Oh, and you know what I just thought of that's bullish? You probably thought of it. Their main cuts are not even counted into until quarter 4.
No. And that's
Yeah.
why I said,
Yeah.
too, that none of that is, it starts in Q4. It hasn't, so, and actually, Fred mentioned that too. He said, none of that is figured into the numbers that you're seeing this quarter. Okay.
Mhm.
So the
Mhm.
margins will improve. And actually, it's going to improve pretty drastically because the manufacturing has been done by a contract company called WUSI. And
Oof.
Chris, the mucosal melanoma survivor, knows this very well. Okay. His till was grown by this company that Iovance contracted out.
Was
They have
that until they got their own facility in order?
yes.
Okay.
So they are finishing everything up. What they're saying is that all of the manufacturing starting 2026 will be, starting some in Q4, will be in their own
Thank
place.
God. You know the thing about
Imagine,
Wuxi, right?
yeah,
Wuxi was
imagine,
stealing IP for China.
yeah.
For
So imagine Tesla having to hire GM to build the cars for them.
right. Right.
That's what we're talking about.
While they get their plant in order, though. The
Yes,
plan was always for them to have their own.
yes.
Yeah.
So they have a beautiful building up there in Philadelphia. It is massive. It is beautiful. So now they have this huge manufacturing facility. And then when all the other indications come, when all that is filled up, they still have Wuxi to use. You see? So again, like I said before, capacity is not the issue. It's how many referral we got, because remember we had the bottlenecks, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is this: the thorn that shorts were using was margins. You cannot make. They're saying Ivans cannot make money and will never be profitable. Today, they lost that thorn, the place that they can twist. Okay, because they know that revenue would come, but their problem, that they want to expose is the cost of goods and services. Okay,
Hmm.
so that has to go down, for any company to survive. And today we got the answer, but it's only the beginning. It will only get better when Ivans will have its own manufacturing, and then the cost restructuring and other things that they did not name. Okay, they did not name everything. They did not call out everything, but there are internal things that they're doing to cut costs that they not even spelling it out to us shareholders.
So one of the things you said earlier, I just wanted to share one thing with people, and then we'll get to a few comments. This is very important. It answers Larry's question a little, why there's only an interim CEO. Rich Law, who I just followed, even if pharma acquires all of the revenue generating biotech, it would only cover half of the patent cliff just next year. So M&A has to go early and fast. This is, if you guys want to go down a rabbit hole, just go on X and put patent cliff and just go to top. You'll see this is a real need by big pharma. So something like Iova is designed to be acquired.
Yep. And the thing is, big pharma knows that Ivans exist, especially Merck,
Oh yeah.
BMS. They actually have worked together. BMS and Merck they have worked together with Ivans, and then of course others. Huge, big pharma company like AstraZeneca is really focusing a lot of their resources to cellular therapy. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And believe it or not, I'm going to review something today. AstraZeneca indirectly owns some parts of Iovance, and nobody knows this. I guarantee you. Okay,
Wow.
check this out.
Does Iovance know?
They do.
Okay.
Okay, let me tell you what's going on. IOV 4001, the engineered tail using talent genetic engineering technique to inactivate PD-1. It's the signal, it's the marker on the T cells, that cancer cells that use their ligand PD-L1 to connect or bind to the T cell and inactivate the T cell. So when you turn that off, the cancer doesn't have anything to bind to. Okay, so it can't do that. Many cancers, cells in many types of cancers have that. This is why I'm so bullish about the IRV 4001 data.
By the way, that's why Keytruda is a blockbuster, because it shuts that down.
Yeah, and Keytruda,
Mm.
works in that manner. Okay, it's an
Mhm.
anti-PD-1. Okay, now, it's gene editing, talent gene editing, which actually existed before CRISPR. It was invented before CRISPR.
Oh wow.
And guess what company owns that? It's Selectus, and I've called that out before. I've shared that with the community. Selectus is a French company that owns it. AstraZeneca owns about 28% of that company.
Wow.
So now you know.
So AstraZeneca owns 28% of the company that invented the gene editing function of this drug, that the next gen TIL therapy.
Yep. Yep. And so here's the thing though. This revenue that we saw today is just the tip of the iceberg. You're talking about this pain right here. Because below here, you have massive indications waiting to arrive. Because right now, you're seeing a first full-year launch in a very small indication. But that small indication already in the US could generate more than $1 billion. The second indication is going to be non-small cell lung cancer that I predict right now, and I've been predicting that the data, the full data next year is going to be positive, and you don't apply for the voucher, you have to be chosen, but the FDA surely will give it the national priority review voucher because the unmet need is so high. It's like more than 10,000 Americans die of lung cancer every month. Every month. 125,000 per year. And you saw, I posted today that there was a non-small cell lung cancer drug that was given that voucher today. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And with the efficacy and the amazing durability that was demonstrated in the interim data, there is no way that it will not get the national priority voucher, especially with the relationship that Iovance has with the FDA, with the current FDA.
Yeah.
Okay. Matter of fact, the chief of regulatory officer right now, Dr. Puri, actually hire a lot of people that are the ones who are approving cancer drug right now at the FDA. You know, so they talk to each other all the time. As a matter of fact, they have an amazing working relationship. One of the question was, is 80 patients or gonna be enough for the trial to satisfy the FDA?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Amtagvi got approved, accelerated approval, 73 patients.
Wow.
Okay, so don't worry about the 80, especially there is nothing in second line. There is nothing except for just ineffective chemotherapy with a bunch of immunotherapy combination that already got defeated in first line already.
Right.
So their ORR is around 12.8%. Median duration of response about 5.4%. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It is absolutely horrendous. So really, the FDA is going to give Iovance or Amtagvi, it's the supplemental indication for non-small cell lung cancer.
Now, one of the things this one is probably really quick, but one of the things that you tweeted today that surprised the hell out of me was only one community ATC center factored into this Q3 sales of this quarter. So they loaded up a whole bunch of community centers they even said on the call, these are typically faster than the academic medical center because they don't compete with research. They're just straight up, let's treat you. The AMCs have to compete with all these other I mean, there's a lot of research going on in oncology. It's always the biggest space. But
Yeah,
only one that was to me was the biggest stat of the day. Really, one community center contributed.
that is then because and this was part of the misguidance
Hmm.
for 2025. They guided for 450 to 475, I believe, right? And of
Hmm.
course, they revised it. Well, because they were counting on the academic centers, because these academic centers, they are ATCs that are treating CAR T patients. They were counting on them. They were counting all of these academic centers to send them all these patients, just like what they've been doing with CAR T.
Yeah.
Well, turns out they didn't, and so they ended up getting patients from the community centers, hospitals. So they're like, why are we focusing? So now they put a focus on community hospital. They're not turning their backs on academic centers. They can't. Why is that?
Hmm.
And this is why being in my industry helps, because these academic centers where these med schools are taught. So imagine these medical students now coming out of these medical school,
Hmm.
learning about TIL treatment.
Right.
So these are you actually sowing seeds, but the community hospital, that's where you're getting the business. So you cannot ignore, so that's why on the call they are saying they're still they have several initiative at academic centers, okay, because that's where the seeds are sown. All right. And so because if you don't do that, then these the new oncologists, when they graduate, they don't know what the hell TIL is, right? They have to be taught, right? So but also at these academic centers, they also treat patients too. They are still ATCs, all right.
Right.
But it's funny that several days before, or a day or two before the Q3 report comes out, I use this word several times, and it's actually used in their statement.
Ah, wow.
Is the word integrate. Okay. They use the word integrate. I used it several days before they did. That I said that next quarter is when all of the ATCs, including community hospitals, academic centers, and all of other ATCs are integrated into Inspire Gene at the hub. Okay. If they're not using Inspire Gene, they are crazy. Okay. Because they do all of the legwork for them prior, reimbursement, talking to insurance. All you have to worry about is just treating the patient. Send them the patient and they do everything else, all the paperwork. Why wouldn't you use them? Right.
Right.
And so now let me back up, Dan. All of this today made possible by one event that happened last quarter, and I pointed it out. I said, this, besides MTACV getting approved, this is as important, which is the 5-year real world data. Because if that data doesn't happen, nobody is going to be using Amtagvi. They don't know what the hell is going on. They don't know.
That's the real world evidence, right?
Yes. So it's doctors, they use, data driven information. Okay, it's called evidence-based medicine. Many doctors say, you know what, let me wait a year before I start using that drug. I'm telling you, all of this was made possible by that 5-year real world retrospective study showing almost 61% ORR in patients with 2 or fewer lines of treatment. Is unbelievable, and again, that also play into enrollment. Doctors now, and you heard that on the call too, that non-small cell lung cancer data now
Yeah.
being shown to clinical trials, and that gets them excited and then enroll patients faster. And now they're
Yep.
noticing the acceleration in enrollment in their clinical trials. So it
I
has,
had a YouTube
you know,
follower comment that they run a cancer center and they want to work on the study. So initially I joked, but then I responded again, "Hey, reach out to me because I'll try to put you in touch with Kirby or
yeah,
somebody from Iova." We got some questions, right? Let's go through some of these. I actually got one on Instagram from someone that I've been talking to a lot about this. He's also owns quite a few shares, and he wants to know, one of the subtle things he noticed was if you can ask a biotech scanner about this, the data reveals are being moved to next year for endometrial, I think he's referring to.
yep.
Do you know why that could be? I mean, did they say anything of why, or did?
They did not give any reason, but somebody asked me this today. You as a shareholder, you should be excited. I am. Why is that? The strength of Amtagvi or TIL treatment, because Ivan's is the only one that has it right now, is the unmatched durability. So the longer they wait on data, the better it's gonna get, baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, they already did preclinical and feasibility tests until in endometrial cancer is great. And then for IOV 4001 engineered TIL, I know it's going to be great. Okay.
Are they doing that study yet? The next gen till?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they're
Actually,
enrolling
we're
right now.
supposed to be getting data for it by the end of the year. So they delay it. So they said for endometrial cancer, it's the first half of 2026. But
Okay.
for IOV 4001, it's going to be Q1 of 2026. Now I
Oh
cannot
wow.
sleep until then.
Oh wow. Okay. So
Okay.
that's earlier than I thought. I thought that would be later on. Okay. Thank
No,
you for
but
that.
let me explain this to you guys. The future of cell therapy for solid tumor is TIL therapy. Okay. CAR T, billions and billions and billions, and companies after companies have failed. They're trying still. Okay. But the try and true method been passing down for 40 years is TIL. You bulldoze these tumors with massive number of polyclonal T cells.
Yeah, so one of our followers, I'm gonna buy this book. Zane Hodani, thank you for this comment. And we're gonna get to all the comments. Highly recommend reading a book by Dr. Rosenberg called The Transformed Cell: Unlocking the Mysteries of Cancer. This is a therapy 40 years in the making. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. I'm gonna buy that book.
Thank you, Zane. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and I need to. So Dan, remind me, please.
Okay.
But okay, so this is why I'm saying at minimum, Ivan's going to be a $30 billion, but we actually won't get to see it because it's going to belong to another company by then. Okay.
Hmm.
So the future is still going to be TIL, but it's not going to be TIL like we are thinking right now. Why do I say that? Because as good as Amtagvi is, it needs to get better. Okay. And one of the ways to make it better is to make the tumor microenvironment better for the T cells. One of the ways is to inactivate the PD-1 on the T cell. The other way is IOV 5001 is to deliver IL-12, a cytokine, directly into the tumor and making the T cell very, very strong. And you actually don't need IL-2 infusion after that. So the future is still TIL, but a better version of TIL. It cannot be Amtagvi.
Right.
Amtagvi has to get better. And what's good about this is, and I've said it before, that Iovance basically is future proofing the process by having the
I
next
agree.
generation TIL and next generation IL-2 as well, which is IOV 3001. Okay, now also too, I'm not sure when we can hear about it, but I believe TIL therapy, I'm not sure why it's not yet, but it should be used in blood cancers as well. You
Right.
know, and so they're going to be using the reactive T cell used in peripheral blood, in blood cancer. So that is also coming up too. I mean, you're talking about Iovance just dominating the entire cancer space, both on solid and liquid cancer.
I like what you said about they're working on a future proofing the company.
Yep.
Because there are like TIL, it's like CRISPR from what I understand. You can't own like nature, but you can own the process for
Yep.
doing it, right? And this is what
Correct.
Amtagvi actually is, because there are other companies doing TIL. They
Yep.
are further behind.
Yep.
But the fact that look at all the issues we dealt with, the fact that it took so long to turn the corner, like how many companies are going to be able to go through all that pain, eat all that shit, and then come out and still be successful? And the fact that Iova's future proofing themselves. Zane dropped a comment. I'm gonna follow you, Zane. You're instant follow, man. You also need to realize the most science peeps in the management worked with Dr. Rosenberg, who's the brainchild of TIL. Previously, Kite, which did very good, was run
Yep.
by a CEO and MD from his lab, which went on to launch Yescarta. So Zane, instant follow, man. I'm gonna find you right now.
I think he follows me on X already.
Yeah,
But
I follow him right now.
But yeah. So, anyways, and then they have talked about pediatric cancer as well, Iovance. Okay, so keep that in mind, because Brian Gassman, the chief, not chief medical officer, but what's his title? Translational. I mean, he's in charge of every clinical trial. Okay, so he's like, why can't we trying to help kids as well? So that's really it's really cool. And let me see.
We got some comments too while you're looking. So Trump Jong Un, our friend, says we are planning to invite Biotech Scanner as a state guest to North Korea to honor his services. Biotech, you go by yourself to that one, man. I'll chill. I'll chill out here. Chris White's the man. Check the accounting. Larry says, given they have 350 million shelf already in place, and they have now extended cash runway to mid 2027, is it safe to say they will never need funding again?
They don't. They don't, because margins is improving, revenues is improving. They can tap in whenever they want to. They don't need it. I don't think they do. Another thing is, student, the next indication then is second line non-small cell lung cancer. In the US alone, the company can generate $10 billion
Mm-hmm.
in the US alone.
Yeah.
And guess what? That rollout is not going to be slow like Amtagvi. You know why? They said it today. And I said it before. All of the ATCs around the country are all set up to treat non-small cell lung cancers as they do second line metastatic melanoma, just the same. It's all set up. That's why I'm saying to you, be patient, because of all of the learning, all the infrastructure they have to lay down. It is a brand new path. They have to learn what they don't know. They
Right.
are trailblazer. But guess what? After Amtagvi for metastatic melanoma, it's going to be much easier. Non-small cell population is 7 times more than melanoma. And combine that with a pre-existing infrastructure for manufacturing and sales. Are you kidding me? And the market cap is still below 1 billion? Are you kidding me?
Today, what did it move? It went from 650 million to probably 750 million, maybe 800. I didn't even look at the market cap today. Let's see.
I didn't even notice. So
Too
yeah,
busy looking at the stock price.
I'm assuming.
834 million. So it jumped about 200 million in market cap today.
Okay, so
Wow.
so check this out. Play this
Wow.
game. Play this game with me. Okay, and I tweeted this today.
Mm-hmm.
Look at one of your favorite biotech that you may have shares in. Ask that question.
AQST.
How much revenue are they generating 1 year?
Not a lot. AQST, not a lot.
Okay. How much debt do they have? Ivan doesn't have any. And I mean, and then
Yeah.
what is their market cap and what is their ceiling? What is their ceiling versus Ivan's ceiling? This is why I said.
But like you said, their ceiling probably will not be reached because this patent cliff, these big pharma.
Yeah, correct.
That leads to some conspiracy talks, but I'll save it for the end. But let's get through some of these questions. Realistically, is there a decrease? This is an intelligent question too. Thank you to the YouTube crowd. Realistically, is there a decreasing margin improvement here once they go to their own facility? Given how expensive the process is, will it offset or is there a limit to the OPEX improvements?
It's the opposite.
I would think
It's
so
the
too.
opposite of what he's saying, of what you're saying. Thanks for the question. The management mentioned it several times today. And I alluded to earlier using that analogy of Tesla using GM to make their car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what does that mean? They're paying a significant amount of money for Wuxi to manufacture their own teal.
Look what Chris said. Wuxi was literally the one I talk shit about that steals been allegedly known to steal IP of U.S. drug companies. Was literally Wuxi was one of the big reasons why Trump did that Biosecure Act.
Yeah.
The only contracted eligible CDMO that was allowed to grow my cells, they literally grew and QA'd my batch and saved Chris's life. So for all the shit I talk about them, to Chris it doesn't matter.
Good work.
Yeah, to Chris it doesn't matter.
They do very good work.
But you think they're not taking off the top? That's my point. Like they're taking off the top for that. And now the fact that they have their own in OPEX investments, which we kind of paid for already as shareholders.
So the CFO mentioned this, literally. She said that, because they're going to be moving manufacturing to ICTC, which is their own manufacturing facility.
Mhm.
That's going to go into better margins, and then their restructuring going to kick in starting Q4, which is now. So all of that, and then remember what I said about community hospital. They don't have to refer out. The moment they fail first line, they qualify for second line.
And
Okay.
they're gonna love doing that instead of referring out because that keeps revenue
Yes.
in house.
In their network. Yes.
You think these hospitals are all Mother Teresa? No, these are
Yeah.
private equity hedge fund. They go
Yeah.
by nonprofits, but they're not really.
Yeah. And by the way, every day there is a hospital around the country that wants to be an ATC. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Wait, who said that? Every day?
Not every day, but like
Oh,
all,
okay, okay, okay.
you
Yeah,
know, all the
yeah.
time
I got
there
you.
are
Comment.
there are
Somebody.
hospitals in line to
Yeah.
be in ATC. But the thing is, with Iovans, they're picky. They're saying, what is your patient population? What is your pipeline?
Hmm.
Because we have to invest a lot of time, resources to make you an
Mm.
ATC. You have to show me what you got.
So they probably want not just mucosal melanoma. They want to see non-small cell lung cancer. They want to see endometrial. They
Yeah,
want to see whatever else they have in their pipeline coming up
correct,
as
correct.
well.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah,
Makes a lot of sense, actually.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, this was a good Zane. I love that comment. Let's see. How about that 5-year data? There are current clinical trials using TIL for hematologic malignancies. I also saw a TIL, like I said on the last stream on Facebook through a follower, for prostate cancer.
yeah.
So there are some
And
TILs out
yeah,
there.
there and Iovance is doing that. And then, oh, by the way, you know how people bash IO2 infusion?
Yeah.
So yesterday, I read there's a company on LinkedIn that they are a CAR T company. They're like a startup, but they use IO2 at the end.
Mm. Guess who owns that?
Well, we don't own all of IO2. There are generic IO2. But
Okay.
what I'm saying is this, Dan. It's very important to understand that Iovance owns the patent to the regiment, not TIL, regiment. Okay. Anybody could do TIL. Okay. TIL is just removing, a tumor and extract the T cells in there and multiply and do whatever they want. But they cannot do what Ivan does because it's patented. You cannot do lymphodepletion and then do TIL and then do IO2 because that would be infringing on the patent of Iovance. And that is the work of Dr. Rosenberg passed down to Iovance.
Just
Okay.
bought his book.
Yeah. Awesome. So other people could come into this space, but they cannot do exactly what Iovance does. And that's why you see, Obsidian, they do the IL-15 TIL.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you do a cytokine TIL, you don't need IL-2 because IL-2 is a cytokine as well, because you would kill the patient doing that. You would put them over in overdrive. You don't want to do that. But yeah, I mean the future of Iovance at the current price is last year in late February it was $18.
And that's because I was not an investor then. In many ways, thank God. Um, that valuation was based on the potential, right? Not the actual revenue. It couldn't have been based on the revenues they were actually bringing in. It was based on the potential, right?
That was on potential of Amtagvi launch revenue. Okay. Now,
Gotcha.
if Ivan's kept the 450 to 475 million 2025 guideline guidance, the stock would have still be 18 or 20 bucks, but because revenue of MTAV came in much lower,
Mm-hmm.
that's why the stock dropped. Okay. So what I'm saying is the company is in a much better place than
Yeah.
it was when it's 18.
I saw
We
your tweet today
actually,
about that. That's a
yeah,
very good point.
yeah, it is way better because,
So you're basically getting all that potential for free still.
well, and I've said this in one of our previous podcasts. Then when I re-released this, is that if you buy in now, you get a manufacturing facility for free that was paid for
Paid for
by
by
people who
previous shareholder.
by the people that bought in at 18, 17, 16. You
Shit.
are getting all of the infrastructure, and then you get all of the clinical study. All that money is being used for all of that, and almost all of the studies are actually in later stages now,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
all of that is paid
I'm
for.
amazed. Like this next gen tail, I thought that was later down. I didn't know they're actually enrolling.
They
This
are
like
about to report.
this company's got a lot going on.
Yes,
A
yes,
lot going on. Like
yeah,
I haven't even to me that stuff next gen is like bonus. Like if you're thinking buyout right now, which a lot of these people are, and we're gonna get to you guys' questions. Like to me, you look at what's right in front of you. When a stock is on the verge of like, I mean, you hear the short saying going bankrupt. Like when
yeah,
you're hearing this, you're just looking immediately what's in front. You're not
yeah.
looking like down the highway. You're looking
Well,
like, let me not hit a deer or some shit right
well,
now.
that's why I used the analogy of when I tweeted it out like a month ago. There's, are you using your sight or are you using your vision? Are
Mm.
you looking at the things right in front of you, or you're looking further down? And with Iron Vans, you are investing in the future. If you're looking at just investing it now, why? Go somewhere else. Go invest in.
Well, even what's now is good.
Oh, hell yes, it is good because it's so cheap now. But if you are a long-term investor, I am telling you, this
Yeah,
is the bottom because if you buy
sure,
in
sure,
now, the
sure.
ITTC is paid for, not by
Yeah,
you.
yeah. That's my point. Is like 850 million, and thank God, based on some miracle earnings that we jumped 200 million in market cap in one day. Like you're not thinking that far ahead. If this was like $8 billion, yeah, now you got to justify. Okay, well,
Yeah,
now I need to look further down, right? That's my rationale for
yeah,
this stuff. Like, let's
yeah,
not fail the NSLC. Let's not fail the endometrial.
yep.
Let's get the mucosal. What is this about? Easter egg that you planned? Promised? What is this? Salmon Trader says you promised the Easter egg.
What is the Easter egg plastic?
You said you please. He says even politely. He's asking.
What? What Easter egg? What are
Yeah,
you
put it
talking
in there,
about?
Salmon. What are you talking about? He got another question. Put what the Easter egg was, Salmon Trader. But last question: what does the recent news do for buyout chances in the near term?
Um, this the non-small cell lung cancer data was so freaking good that now gets attention of big pharma. Combine that with today's earning that they actually are making money and gonna be profitable by next year. Now big pharma is, yes. I mean, they like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah,
And I did
it's,
some math today based on the um, based on the projections of just 250 million, they're gonna be looking at I think $100 million quarter in quarter 4 for them to hit that projection, something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a big jump. They're saying that you promised something, you would reveal something. Was it the AstraZeneca thing that you already said?
Oh, hell
I'm
yeah.
going to reveal something during this podcast this evening that no one is noticing
Yes.
or even talking about.
Sorry, buddy. Damn it. Yes. I almost forgot.
I thought it was the AstraZeneca thing, no? Or that's something
No,
else?
it's not. That's just
Oh,
bonus.
that's
Let's
that's
reveal it
next
now.
gen till.
Let's reveal it now.
All right, let's reveal it.
In the lung, LON 202. In cohort number 3, I believe, they're using the surgical technique, the cell extraction technique called core biopsy. My friends, this is going to be the future of TIL as well. What is core biopsy? And I believe they're going to use this in the next generation TIL for IOV 4001 and 5001. And actually, there was a brand new trial announced today and nobody brought it up. Nobody talked about it. There is a trial that is being conducted internationally. It's called IOV MEL 202. Using MTACV as an outpatient. Okay. So I believe that the core biopsy, whereas the normal biopsy, you have to go under, you have to be, surgery center and all of that. This, it takes 15 minutes to numb the area. They have like a kind of needle, like a little tube. They extract a tiny piece of that sample of that tumor and transport it and grow it. And the patient leaves that place in 20 minutes. So from staying in the hospital for surgery to a 15-minute go in and out, what a game changer is that for Iovance? Okay. Remember, Iovance doesn't make money on these surgeries.
Right. They only make money when it's infused.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So another thing is the other surgery.
So this would be a way for them to make money off of the surgery as well.
Well, basically, they're making the treatment easier. So more doctors are going to refer to Amtagvi treatment in the future.
Okay.
Because of how complex it is. Now they're cutting this complexity down tremendously. So think about this, Dan.
I see.
15 minutes to get your sample, and then you leave. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, especially IOV 5001, mm-hmm. you get infused, and then no IO2. You can literally get infused and leave the hospital.
Right, outpatient.
So the future of this company, I'm telling you, they're doing everything that they can to future-proof this.
I see.
All right?
I see.
So you can.
They would still need to manufacture in between, though. That's the part where it's like 30 days or something, right? 33 days.
Yes, so that's going to cut that down too. But here's the thing about core biopsy. Because it's so fast, Dan, and they grow the cells. Oh, it's not growing. Let's go get another sample somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And next, go in 15 minutes, or you come out and get. so they can have like 3 or 4 samples of this patient.
Right.
So the patient drop off is going to be much lower because
Right.
they, they could do this several times.
And that's going to be to answer the OpEx question, right? The CapEx. Um, there is no limiting or diminishing returns yet. And by the time there is, that's going to be Merck's problem or AstraZeneca's problem, not Iova. Right now, look at all the demand that we're getting, like even the future demand for
Yeah.
this.
So
Any improvements you make in your OpEx, there's no diminishing returns yet.
yeah, and so that's the secret that I'm revealing.
Mm.
Okay, they Ivans is already looking into making the treatment a lot simpler. Imagine going to surgery, going under and get surgery, and now you could go in 15 minutes and come out. All right.
Yep.
And it's localized. All right. Just local numbing of the area, and then you extract it and you're gone. And if they need to extract it from somewhere else, they could do it because it's so.
Right. It's
So
quick. Yeah.
yes. So look into core biopsy with Iovant is incredible.
So
It's
they
so exciting.
partnered with this group called Core or this technique, right? They partnered with the
I don't know who they partner with, but it's the technique that they're using. So I'm not sure
okay,
what
okay. So
company.
somebody else created this technique, somebody else is monetizing it, but then it's
Yeah,
available to be used.
yeah,
Okay.
correct. Because they're
Yeah.
not making money of the surgery or anything. They're just
Okay,
making
okay.
this easier. They're only making money with Emtacley and Proleukin.
I mean,
That's it.
that's awesome. The
That's
only thing that
amazing.
would make it even more awesome if they owned it. But I'm asking too much now.
Yes.
That's all.
So I hope the audience is satisfied with this that I'm revealing because it's big. Because the
But how
IOP
come
treatment.
they haven't talked about this?
No,
How did
they,
you find out? What did you dug
isn't
deep
that
through
why
the
you follow me?
yeah. Well, now I just follow you because you're funny as hell. But yeah, before, yeah. But
But yeah, go look it up, core biopsy with Iovance, and then they'll list the trials that they're using it in. Okay,
yeah, Chris
very
knows
exciting.
best. He's God bless his life. He's still here. 6 years later, it says it's like getting your blood drawn, quick in and out appointment for a patient. No 1 day prior pre-surgery prep. I mean, who
Yep,
better to discuss this than someone who's been through it
yep.
himself? So,
So Chris knows about this core biopsy stuff. He knows
mhm.
about this. So,
Will
Chris,
says at that point we have the same condition as AQST, low barrier to entry, and anyone would do it. I agree with owning the manufacturing. Um, it's you own the whole. That's the thing these two companies have in common is they
yeah.
own this basically the supply chain.
Yeah, especially with Iovance, well, it's impossible, man. It is so freaking hard.
Yeah,
And it, yeah. And so the weakness now becomes a strength, right?
yeah.
Because how hard it is for Ivans to overcome all of the obstacle, but these are the same obstacle that competitors will have to go
Now
through.
in your 12 step that you have pinned on your
Yeah.
profile, right? Of how you pick
Hmm.
the owning the supply chain is not necessarily a criteria, but both of these kind of happen. Your two most favorite tickers recently both share that in common. They're U.S. manufacturing. They own
Yeah.
the supply chain end to end, and they respect the sales process and the fact that AQST hired Sherry and they ramping up the infrastructure, and then Iova's been ramping up the ATCs and all that. Those are you have those in common. I don't know if you necessarily explicitly require that for a biotech, and you want to
I
just
don't, but
share
I
that.
do. The one thing that I like a lot, and I require, and they both have AQC and Ivan's got it, is a platform.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, so um, Iovan's indeed has a platform. Okay, and each platforms can make them billions and billions and billions. Iovance. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
that's the difference. The difference with IQST and Iovance is is the amount of money is multiple of tens with
yeah.
Iovance. Okay, and so that's what you're dealing with. So think about this
And
too.
Iovan's not binary as opposed to AQST, which
Right.
right now it's make or break, do or die with the Santa film.
Yeah.
In my opinion, a very high chance it gets approved. But
Yeah.
as you've seen with this FDA, nothing is guaranteed,
Yeah.
which is a whole another topic. But yeah,
Correct. Yeah. And another thing that y'all don't are not we're not even talking about. So we're talking about 10 US only, $1 billion on metastatic melanoma second line. $10 billion. Okay. With non-small cell lung cancer second line. All right. And then now we're dealing with, after that, Tilvans 301, which will accomplish two things. One, to get MTACV fully approved for second line, which it will. And then frontline melanoma, metastatic melanoma. And it already has shown amazing initial data already. I mean, it's like 65% ORR and 30% CR.
yeah, yeah,
It's unreal. Unreal, because this is still melanoma that has spread.
right,
Yet 30% of these patients will get no evidence of disease, they're cured. And
yeah.
that's why management now using that word, a curative potential.
Curative potential. I saw
Okay.
it a few times already now.
Yep. And so with every patient that gets put on MTAC-V,
Hmm.
there is a curative potential.
Hmm.
We are talking about a disease that kills so many people, especially in second line. There is no hope.
Yeah.
But here is Ivan's talking about curative potential.
Hmm.
This is why I said this is the only biotech company that you actually need between now and 2028.
I saw that, and I'm too much. Yeah, I like the game too much, but yeah, I like ATAI, although I'm waiting for it to get a little cheaper. But yeah, I'm with you. If you got to pick, and I never like to put everything in one basket. Um, like even when this one was getting now today, it's like over 40% of my portfolio. I was like, hold on a minute, it's getting a little spicy. Just because you never know, man. Like
Yep.
this FDA, it's not like the previous FDA was great. They're approving everything basically and then taking things off the market later. This one wants to avoid that
Yeah.
and do it the right way, but
Yep.
it's understandable why investors are upset. Okay, hello from Belgium. Wow, we're international, man. Can you explain the difference between Iova and Repl? Articles always mention this other company. Thank you. Replimune, I believe, is the one.
Yeah, I'm trying to be careful before I answer this, um, because first, I don't want to hurt investor, and I don't want to sound too harsh. But I know there's one guy out there that is pumping the hell out of REPL, and that's fine. But the problem is he's bashing Iovance.
Who is it? We need to put him on blast.
Um, but here's the thing, Dan. The moment you reply to his message, he wins, because you have an audience of 9,000. He has an audience of 100. Okay, so I don't do that. I don't respond. But
He's got an audience
I'm
of
gonna do it here.
900.
I'm gonna
Okay,
do
do
it.
it here, do.
I'm gonna
I
do
don't
it
know who
here.
this is. I don't know who.
Yeah. So it's a oncolytic drug that recently got the FDA got so excited about Replimune that they gave it a CRL. Even though there's a huge unmet need, they gave it a CRL. That tells you something right there. However, there are cancers, melanoma cancers, that Amtagvi cannot treat. So I do welcome more treatment on the market to be available to all patients.
Sure.
I know that RPL would be helpful in the ocular melanoma. That's the population that could benefit from RP1. Okay. And then, so, so that treatment basically is they inject the drug into the tumor and it kills the tumor. But what it also does is it causes a systemic response as well. Okay. So it doesn't just kill the cancer at that injection site. It spreads out and it kills other tumor sites. All right. It was great. But RPL has to be used in combination with Iova and immunotherapy. Okay. And then the injection lasts over 8 months. And then the efficacy, it is dependent on the size of the tumor, the depth of the tumor, the depth of the injection. You have so all of these variables, all right, that could affect efficacy. And then their trial, the FDA looked at it and said, they don't know if that effect, that efficacy is by Iova or RPL, because it has to be used in combination. So after you get injected, and there's like over 8 months, and then with Iova, infusion is over the rest of your life, like every month or whatever infusion. Whereas Amtagvi is a one-time treatment. Okay, it's a one-time treatment, and you get it over with. You get done. So you imagine these RPL patient, RP1 patients is going to go back and infuse, and then they have to go to surgery and infusion for Iova, months after months after months.
So there's a market for it, and it's important to have both. I mean, we're pro science, we're pro biotech industry as a whole. And it's not about bashing one company or the other, unless that company deserves to be bashed, like ARS spray. I mean, to use lawfare, at the expense of patients just because it's the last bullet in your gun.
Yep.
And you didn't want to shoot yourself with it. Like, that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't want to bash RPL or RAPL, okay? Because I know the ocular melanoma community, they want it to be approved. They wrote letters to the FDA, the community. I know Chris knows this. All right. I want it to be approved, but don't think for a minute this guy that was bashing Iova that RP1 is going to steal all these, second line melanoma patients.
Yeah, I never understood all the bashing, man. Like, even with ARS, I never bashed spray. I actually consider buying it at one point because you need more options. It's kind of like a insurance against AQST.
Let the market speak for itself.
Exactly.
Let the market choose. So that guy, I don't know why he felt like he needed to bash.
Bashing is a scarcity mentality, and we have plenty of abundance, unfortunately, with demand for cancer therapeutics.
Yeah, it's not a zero-sum game.
Yeah.
It is not. When it comes to cancer, trust me, we're gonna need and I posted this. We're gonna need more. Every tools possible to fight cancer. And I said it before that even how good Amtagvi is, many patients get treated, Amtagvi still die. They don't respond to it. So we need all the options that we can. So I wish RPL the best. I hope that they get approved. I don't think it will because I'm not sure if they've done anything differently to show the FDA anything different to get approved this time around. But I don't know. So I can't comment
Yeah.
on.
I barely have time to study Iova, let alone something else. So, Kristen,
Hi,
shout out to the
Kristen.
women. Shout
Thanks
out
for
to
the
the women
follow.
followers. She said, I can't click on this, unfortunately, but what is this? Guidance in development, TA 1075. I'm not sure what that is. I can't click on that, and I don't feel like writing that whole thing in my. I just had a Serbian liquor, so I might even
Kristen,
get
if
it wrong.
you respond to one of my tweets and include that link, or you can tweet me, I'll look into that. Okay. Thank you for watching and thank you for your
Yes,
question.
Kristen. And Samara has one more. I guess we'll wrap up with this one. Oh, I have a thing that's in my head, but can I ask an AQST question? Conference call was great, but price action, what does it tell you?
Okay. Samara, it is amazing of what happened in Iovance today that people forgot the market crash today. The market completely tanked today, but yet Iovance is still up 27%. That tells you how good of a news that earning was. Okay. Now that didn't make you feel any better about IQST, but I just want you to know that it has nothing to do with AQST. Like Dan said, and I've said it before, AQST now becomes an investment becomes very binary, meaning it's going to come down to approval or CRL.
Yeah.
And if it gets a CRL, it will drop at least 80%.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I'm telling you that right now. I called this out and it was at 2 something. We went up to 755. I hope people did the right thing for their own good, taking profits properly, risk management. Okay. You cannot risk all of that gain for one thing.
Especially with the FDA this unpredictable.
Yes.
And a citizens petition, which does have some scientific basis to it. Otherwise, it would have been thrown out.
It does. That citizen petition has
Delaying
scientific
power,
people in
delaying
there.
potential.
Okay. So it's very unfortunate. It's dirty, but it is what it is. And Viatris did that to ARS, and it worked. They got a CRL out of that.
The cycle repeats with the bullies.
Dirty.
The bull dirty game. Yeah, AQST is binary. There's not going to be much interesting. Anything other than approval or rejection is peanuts, negligible.
Well, another question you have to ask yourself too, Smar. Let's say NFL is approved. All right. I think it's gonna be approved.
What do you think your the probability of that? Put you on the spot.
Over 80%.
That's what I was going. I'm at
Okay.
85. I used to
I,
be at
I was I was
95.
I was 99,
I was 95 prior to the
but
citizens.
that petition letter concerned me. But Samara, ask yourself this question: how much film? How much of film Aquesta will sell in its first year after approval, compared to what each quarter Iovance is selling Amtagvi? Compare the market cap of AQST and Iovance. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah.
This is all parts of the evaluation process of each company. Okay. And I cannot do it for people. They have to do it for themselves, Dan. But you have to look at the risks and reward.
Yeah, and your personal
You know.
look. The I've This happens to me too. I fall in love with the companies. Like I've been trimming my profits. I'm gonna keep a substantial amount through Padufa because I believe in it, in the
Yep.
mission.
I still have shares. Yep.
But like you can't fall in love with the company, but it's also a very personal thing. Like me with ATAI, psychedelics in a way kind of changed my life. I've been in the CNS space a lot. I know it's expensive, but I'm still like I'm gonna put some into it because that's what I want to do and I believe in it. So
Yeah.
it might not be the most logical thing.
Well, I brought up AQST market cap. If you are a SPRY investor, look at the market cap and compare that to Iovance. And look
Yeah.
at the quarterly sales compared to Iovance.
I think they're all around 800
Yeah.
million ish, no?
Yeah. I am telling you, Iovance is the one. It is so cheap and the potential is astronomical. Are there risks? Heck yeah. There could be delays on approval. It could be denied, new indication, anything. But I'm telling you, with just the initial indication of metastatic melanoma alone, the company can
Mhm.
generate over $1 billion of sales in the US.
That's why I
Once,
don't look too far ahead with this shit.
yeah, you take everything else away,
Hmm.
non-small cell lung cancer, you're taking everything else away from Iovance and pretend it only has this current treatment right now is still undervalued.
Yep.
That's how much undervalued Iovance is. That's
Yeah.
objective as I can get.
AQST was undervalued when it was 200 million and Spry was 1.2 billion.
Yeah,
Remember those days?
yeah.
That was the same rationale. Look at the market
And
cap.
guess what, Dan? I predicted a year and a half ago that the market cap of AQC and Spry is going to be similar.
Hmm.
That's because that's what happened when you have 18 years of pharmaceutical experience. You see these things, and I'm
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
you, and people forget a lot of times that I told you this, Dan, that because my post is pretty much a lot of GD and science,
Hmm.
they forget that my background is in pharmaceutical sales. I've been doing this for 18 years, and I see, I know inside and out. When I hear the call, when I see the sales number, I know what's going on. And so I'm saying to you, this is the very beginning of a massive cash cow.
Man, we have super good follower. You have super good followers. Uh, so that's biotech scanner background, decades in pharmaceutical sales.
Thank you, Simon. Trader, my background is in biology. I almost went to med school. Things happened in my life, in my family, that required me to work right away to support my family in Vietnam. So I gave up my dream of going to med school. But what happened was I got a job in the pharmaceutical industry, and I was able to use that science background, but don't expect other reps to be like this because I love medicine. I read it as a hobby. I do this every day. I read everything. Okay. So I'm kind of like self-trained going to med school basically.
Hmm.
And so, but I really appreciate your kind words. And when I first entered this community, I created the Dragon Family, I call them, because I noticed there's a lack of accurate information in the community. people just using it for their own gain. They pump without evidence. So when I first arrived, I sound very cocky. I rub people the wrong way, but I said that the community needs to raise its standard in information sharing. It has to be fact based. So that's why I created my community. Um,
When
and
did you
so
create that one? The Dragon Fam? When did you start tweeting like
it was around November of 2023.
okay. So yeah, pretty recent. I
Yeah.
found you when I was doing due diligence on AQST. I was already a bag holder. But I was like, okay, I gotta find somebody who knows something more than me on this thing. And that's how I found you. Uh Outstanding share count went from 360 to 397. Did they dilute a bit?
Let me check. I
We're
have an answer
checking.
for that. I have an answer for that.
Nirajin says, looks like they can manufacture 5,000 doses a year right now. Do you think that is enough for the foreseeable future, or should we continue to use third-party CDMO? I can give you my take. I don't think we should use the third-party CDMO. I think if we can manufacture in-house, we should
I'm
do
still
that.
showing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still showing 361. Sorry, Dan.
Okay.
Um. Okay, hang on. Let me answer that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did because their cash and cash equivalents stay the same. It can't be. Okay. Because they have losses this quarter. All right. But this is exactly what I predicted would happen to Dan. And Dan could go back to his text. I said, ideally, they would tap the ATM and extend their cash runway to
Yeah.
mid 2027. That's my exact text.
You did. That's the Trump Jong-un count
Yeah, and
question.
that's exactly what happened. Okay. And that's why I love ATMs because I don't like direct offering. It hurts it hurts the momentum, you know. But 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 they did exactly what I thought I hope that a smart CFO would do. All right. So yeah, that's if that's the case, that's exactly what I wanted. You know, that's exactly what I would have wanted. But the company now, I'm telling you, man, is so freaking exciting.
What Niraj says, okay, so they can manufacture 5,000 doses a year right now. I don't know where we get that number from, but I trust that. Do you think that is enough for the foreseeable future, or should we continue to use third-party CDMO?
Well, that's not correct. They can generate well. Um, they said that currently they can manufacture 2,000, but soon it will be 5,000, and then later 10,000. Okay. Um, Manufacturing is not an issue at all. Remember, so they are saying that ICTC could eventually get to 10,000, but then they also have Wuxi after
Right,
that.
right.
So it's pretty much unlimited.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to use the manufacturing to say no to sales at this point. I
Yeah,
think they're trying to run that number up, the top line, even if it affects the margins for the short term.
yeah.
Um, I even if buyout doesn't come, this is Zane instant follow, man. I don't know why I didn't see you before. Even if buyout doesn't come, I think Iova is still strategic in selecting Pembro, which is Keytruda, as an anchor because it's going to be the first PD-1 that will go biosimilar, which will help in cutting treatment costs. Yeah.
Selecting Pandora's. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's also the best one by far.
It's the best one.
That's
But I'm
I think
telling
that's why
you,
they chose it
but this
first.
is why I'm telling you, of all of the data that's coming out, the one I'm waiting for the most on is IOV 4001.
And when is that? Do you predict? Because this is the next
Q1.
question. Q1.
Q1 2026, the
Okay.
company stated in this earnings report.
Okay. Q1 2026. Okay.
That it is positive. It definitely will get the attention of Merck.
Okay. As we end, I'm gonna ask you to predict the sales price, the stock price on January 1st, 2026.
Let me see. Uh, uh,
We'll have another earnings, right? We'll or no?
no.
Oh no, we won't have another
Yeah.
earnings.
Let me think. It's gonna be. It probably will be above $5.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think investors now, institutions are they're gonna pile in, and then you also get new ratings from all of these analysts
Hmm.
who are now going to be jumping on board. And then the anticipation of Q4 earnings and IOV 4001 data.
Hmm.
And also, don't forget the filing, the IND filing for 5,000, IOV 5001, the next generation too. We may also get,
Their
yeah.
voucher, right? You might get a voucher too.
Um, so yes.
Hmm.
So, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
lot of catalysts.
There's so
Because that's what
many
this person's asking.
catalysts.
I want to build my base position here. I was with you. I was worried, man. This is why I actually started trimming my AQST profits to have this, especially when I saw this in the $1. I was like, I'm gonna confess, man. I went out on margin and bought some. I covered it recently, but I went out on margin and bought some at when it was 178 or whatever, that low, 190. I
Yeah.
kept texting you. One day I bought like 12,000 shares in one day. When I was like, dude, this I just added my position quite a bit. Um,
Um,
but I feel you. Like you kind of want it to stay low key for a while. I know I'm good with my position now, but what do you? This is why we're trying to ask your predictions.
yeah, I am fully loaded. I have my wife's account.
Oh man, you're sleeping on the couch.
Yeah. So
Nice.
my wife told me that if it gets to $10, then I can move out of her boyfriend's house.
That's the real reason I follow you, man. Uh, okay, so you want to stick with $5 by January 1st price prediction, or you want to change it? That voucher can change it. But I'm telling
the
you, Vinay Prasad is the wild card. This
Yeah.
dude is like the
Well,
Joker in your deck of cards.
the voucher won't come by then
Ah,
because
okay, okay.
yeah, because the full set. Oh, for non-small cell lung cancer, we may get another interim set of data with more patients and longer follow before the final data. And then, so the final data, so you have to file the SBLA before you can approve for the voucher. You have to file first, right? And so they said that they aim to launch second half of 2027.
Hmm.
But if they get the voucher, that could push it up to the beginning of 2027. which is, I mean, that's crazy, man. I mean, that the share price is gonna be. I I don't want
Okay,
to.
so January 2026, you're thinking around 5.
Five.
January 27, what are you thinking?
Oh my God. January 27.
Yeah, I haven't thought that far yet.
Okay, it's gonna be at least 25.
You think 25?
Yeah,
Okay, what's more likely? 20s?
because think about this. By 2027, you will have all kinds of data being released. Frontline melanoma,
Yeah,
Tilvans 301,
yeah.
and then by then, um,
Sales should be you think they're gonna be $1 billion a year?
yes, and then of course, frontline non-small cell lung cancer. There's so much happening. Oh, endometrial cancer by then,
You
and
think $1 billion sales by then?
oh yeah, oh yeah. And then
Wow.
I'm telling you, there because there are
But more likely it
literally
happened
about
first.
20 over 20 trials
Yeah,
that
that's
are in
crazy.
different stages,
It's crazy.
and
They're
then
set
they
up
will
like
announce
domino.
each. Yeah, they will announce each.
Shorts are cooked. Why would you even touch this if you're a short?
But
Th-
but you also have to tie it in the fact that there's no debt.
Right, right, right.
I mean that's how crazy this thing is.
Okay, last question then. More likely to happen first, January, 20s, the price in the 20s, or a buyout? That's a
Uh,
good one. That's a good one.
yeah, it's a really close call
I know.
because remember Wayne Rothbaum, the largest shareholder, he didn't sell when it was 18.
Mm,
So when you say in the 20s,
mm.
that is pretty close to the price that he didn't sell.
It's breaking even.
You know, so his average
Pour
is
another
actually
shot,
about
man.
$6 or $7. Okay, you know, probably
Oh,
around $6. So it's not 18.
I
Um,
got you, got you.
yeah, his average. So yeah, but the I'm looking at market cap. Wayne Rothbaum's not going to sell that below 10 billion. He's not. He won't. So I would say it will be well. M&A is very active right now,
Yes.
so I think it will be bought out before then because this company after today looks really very attractive today because it answers a key question of costs of goods and services. It dropped by 13%. Oh, and by the way, I'm not sure if the people notice what drop off costs. CFO said the decrease of that drop off costs was like
Hmm.
40%. That's crazy good. That means manufacturing success is getting way better now.
They're only going to get better in the infrastructure. And we talked some sense into him, hadn't taken any AQST profits. I hadn't either until a couple weeks ago when I kept seeing this thing going down. For a while, AQST was still going up. This was going down. I was like, listen, I don't like that petition letter. It's adding more risk. I need to readjust a little bit. Doesn't mean I don't like AQST. I'm still going to hold through PDUFA, but I think you did the right thing. And I would get into some Iova, not financial
Yeah,
advice, but look
yeah,
into.
Will. I mean, you know, it's just it's still gonna be your money at the end
Yeah.
of the day, okay? Because I went because AQST is not gonna be there to comfort you when it drops more, you
They.
know. So there's one other guy follow me said that GSRT now nuclear and
Yeah.
KLR he lost 50% or losing. But I'm like, it went up to 21 something. You didn't
Dude,
sell.
it was ridiculous. Though that
Yeah.
week, it was 20% a day
Yeah.
for a
But I'm
week.
like, I feel so bad when I read stuff like that because you can't do that. You've
But
got to secure profits.
yeah, if we learn anything from VV, man, and you don't buy all at once either.
Yep.
Like, yeah, I know I learned the hard way myself a bunch of times. So I'm here in my 40s getting better. Now I just got to deal with the taxes. That's a different problem.
Yep.
Okay, I think
Well,
that's it,
I
man.
want to appreciate everybody watching, and hopefully we learned something today. But what I shared today, the core biopsy, is a game changer. I'm sorry. I mean, it's like Chris said, it's just basically giving blood. Rather than a full fledged surgery. You know, now you just go in there and get numb, and then you're done. And the great thing about that is it gives Iovans the flexibility to go back and collect another sample if they needed to, without really bothering the patient too much. Huge. It's a game changer. Huge.
One of the things I learned from uh, Brad Gerstner's show, BG2, their big like AI podcast. He talked about it the other day. He had Sam Altman on from OpenAI. I'm not necessarily a fan of him, but Brad, who's a billionaire, multi-billionaire VC guy, he said, we study this shit all the time. We see this. We study. We know what the numbers are. We understand the potential. The average American doesn't. So when Nvidia says crazy numbers or Sam Altman says crazy numbers, the average Joe screams overvalued.
Yep.
But we've done the homework to have the conviction
Yep.
to continue to buy. And I think that's something you do on a small scale with these, and something I'm definitely trying to learn how to do, because that conviction thing is very important.
It is because there are scary times, when you see your stock keep dropping and dropping, and you see no end in sight.
Yeah.
But if you have the knowledge and the research, and you seeing the company is getting better, margins is getting better, they're about to transition to their own manufacturing facility to where they don't have to pay a contract company to manufacture their sales. And then they're cost cutting, they're restructuring to right size the company. You see all those things, and then on the other hand, the share price is dropping every day. It reminds me of that story of Jeff Bezos and Amazon stock keep dropping, but their analytics is like, we sell more products, making more profits. So the stock is not the company, and the company is not the stock.
Hmm.
The difference is your conviction, but your conviction has to be built on research, not because of somebody saying something, right? So because if you're in there on stock Twitch and all that crap, I guarantee you they're gonna make you want to sell. That's why I delete that
Yeah.
app. I'm
Hmm.
telling you, you got to be careful. All right. So I trying to provide just the utmost honest, accurate information to the community. You can always ask me questions, but man, there are shorts that are desperate, that will throw random stuff at me,
Hmm.
but they know better. They know better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I always listen to them because I try to scare myself out of a position, and that's the way I build my conviction. But yeah, sometimes they're just excessive. You don't have time for this
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Somebody tweeted me yesterday, earnings are gonna be horrible, and I replied, "Bitch, don't kill my vibe." That's it. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Biotech Scanner, and everybody for watching. We had 1,177 people on right now.
Awesome. Thank
I
you.
wasn't even watching at the peak, but thank you. and we'll be on again.